Good evening and welcome to Franciscan Beat News. I'm your host Megan Ritter with your headlines for Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. The roof collapsed at a Dominican Republic nightclub, killing at least 98 people according to AP News. The roof of an iconic nightclub in the Dominican capital collapsed early Tuesday during a concert attended by politicians, athletes, and others, leaving at least 98 people dead and 160 people injured, authorities said. Crews were searching for potential survivors in the rubble at the one-story Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo, said Juan Emmanuel Mendez, director of the Center of Emergency Operations. "We continue clearing debris and searching for people," he said on Tuesday night. "We're going to search tirelessly for people." Nearly 12 hours after the top of the nightclub collapsed onto patrons, rescue crews were still pulling out survivors from under the debris, shushing those around them so that they could listen for faint cries for help. Firefighters removed blocks of broken concrete and used saw pieces of wood as planks to lift heavy debris as the noise of drills breaking through concrete filled the air. Trump pauses tariffs on most nations for 90 days and raises taxes on Chinese imports, according to AP News. Facing a global market meltdown, President Donald Trump on Wednesday abruptly backed down on his tariffs on most nations for 90 days, but raised the tax rate on Chinese imports to 125%. It was seemingly an attempt to narrow what had been an unpredictable trade war between the U.S. and most of the world to a shutdown between the U.S. and China. The S&P 500 stock index jumped nearly 7% after the announcement. But the precise details of Trump's plans to ease tariffs on non-China trade partners were not immediately clear. Trump posted on Truth Social that because more than 75 countries had reached out to the U.S. government for trade talks and have not retaliated in meaningful ways. "I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately," said President Donald Trump. The 10% tariff was the baseline rate for most nations that went into effect on Saturday. It's meaningfully lower than the 20% tariff that Trump had set for goods from the European Union, 24% on imports from Japan, and 25% on products from South Korea. Still, 10% would represent an increase in the tariffs previously charged by the U.S. government. The announcement came after the global economy appeared to be in open rebellion against Trump's tariffs as they took effect Wednesday, a signal that the U.S. president was not immune from market pressures. Billionaire spacewalker highlights Mars trip for astronauts in his bid to become NASA's next chief, according to AP News. The nominee for NASA's top job is billionaire spacewalker Jared Isaacman, outlined his vision for space exploration on Wednesday that prioritizes sending astronauts to Mars without giving up on the moon. "It's imperative that we do both," Isaacman told senators. President Donald Trump nominated Isaacman to become NASA's 15th administrator late last year. If confirmed, the tech entrepreneur would become the youngest person to lead the space agency and among only a handful of administrators to have actually rocketed into orbit. The Senate Committee Science and Transportation Committee gathered in Washington for nomination hearing. Besides Isaacman, 9 other experienced space travelers were in the audience, including NASA's next new moon passengers and crew who flew on private space flights with him. Isaacman assured the senators that he would not give up on the moon and wants the U.S. to beat China in landing astronauts there. And now for your weather today, the high will be 48 degrees with a low of 38 degrees in Steubenville, Ohio. It'll be mostly cloudy with some breezes and expect a couple of showers throughout the night. For tomorrow, the high will be 53 degrees with a low of 42 degrees. It'll be partly cloudy with showers all around. That is all we have for you today with this Franciscan Beat News Brief. I'm your host, Megan Ritter. Good night and God bless.